A guten Erev Shabbos, my dear friends. This week, Parshas Kedoshim, Kedoshim Tiyu, be holy. Today is a very special day. Be'ezir, it is the birthday of the fourth Chabad Rebbe, the Rebbe Maharash. Ladies, make sure to light the Shabbos candles today. Here in Brooklyn, the time is 7:44. Men put on tefillin before sunset and pray for our brothers and sisters in Eretz Israel, for the hostages to come back and for the Jews around the world to be safe. So, the Rebbe Maharash, Rabbi Shmuel, the Rebbe many times quoted the saying that he used to say, that the world says, you have to try to go under. If you cannot go under, you go over. But I say, lechatchila ariba. Don't bother trying to go under, go over to begin with. What that means, it means in many different ways. Of course, it means going big, doing big things. And this was the motto of the Rebbe. We should always go big and do big. And also when it comes to the message that we have, the mission that we have, to bring closer to God, people around the world, the Jewish people, to bring the light around the world. Also, there's two ways of approaching it. If you want to get the person who is not observing, you want to get him to observe, to get closer to God, one way is telling him what the good thing, what the not good things is, punishments. Some people had that approach, threatening him with all kind of scary things if he doesn't do the right thing. But of course, the Hasidus way and the Rebbe's way was a whole different way. The way of lechatchila ariba, the way of showing a Jew what it means to be a Jew, what it means the fact that a Jew is holy. So last night we had the Farbrengen of the Shluchim from New York, and we had a guest speaker, Rabbi Yossi Groner from Shliach in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he told us a story that happened. It was one of the lectures that he had in his Chabad house many years ago. There was a professor that showed up and listened to the lecture, and after the lecture he came over to him and he told him what brought him to this lecture. So he said he had a meeting in New York, Manhattan, and he finished the meeting and he had to go catch a flight back to North Carolina. But then his mother lived in Long Island, and he figured he has some time, he can go take the train, go to Long Island, and catch the flight later. As he walks out from the office in Manhattan, he sees a few young boys, Lubavitch boys, and they approach him. I'm sure you met one of them that come, "Excuse me, are you Jewish?" And he thinks to himself, wait, if I'm going to tell him I'm Jewish, he's going to tell me, did you put on tefillin? And if I'm going to tell him I don't have time now for tefillin, he's going to tell me, try to argue with me, just a minute. In the meantime, I have no time. I'm rushing. I have to catch my train to my mother. So he told him, no, not Jewish. And he went on, moved on, took the train. And he says, later on, he started thinking, wait, what did I just say? How could I deny my Jewishness? And he felt so bad, and he literally started crying. That's how he tells it to the shliach. He felt bad that he denies his Jewishness. And he says, don't get me wrong, I'm not religious. But I felt terrible, and I decided I have to do something to correct this. And he decided that the first Jewish thing that he sees, an event or something, he's going to join. And he says that the first thing I came home, I saw the flyer that he had about this lecture. So I came to the lecture. To make a long story short, this young man developed a connection with the Shaliach, and he started teaching him, started putting on tefillin, keeping Shabbos, and the children. He had a whole family now that follows the way of Torah mitzvahs and comes from what? From, excuse me, are you Jewish? Reminding a person that he's a Jew. And this is something also we see in the beginning of this week's Torah portion. The Torah says, Hashem says to Moshe, Daber al kol adas b'nei Yisrael v'amarte aleim Kedoshim tiyu ki kodesh ani Hashem Elokeichem. Speak to all the congregation, the entire congregation of the sons of Israel, and tell them, be holy, because I am holy. Hashem, God, your God. And Rashi says, this is a very unusual way, the way the Torah speaks over here. Usually God says, tell the Jewish people. Here it says, Daber kol adas b'nei Yisrael. Speak to all the entire Jewish people. It says, Rashi melamed shenemra parsha zu behakel. This teaches us that this portion was said to the Jewish people in a hakel, by gathering all the Jewish people. Why? Because the majority of the laws of the Torah depends on this parsha. Says the Rebbe, that exactly is the message. When you gather the Jewish people together and you want to teach them about what is important to do, you can do it in one way, scaring them, telling them about the consequences, not good consequences. Says the Rebbe, the first thing what you need to do, start with a positive way, stressing how precious every Jew is. That Kedoshim tiyu, you can be holy because I am holy. The neshama is in there. Ask yourself, are you Jewish? And give the answer, yes, I am Jewish, and because I am Jewish, I want to be connected, and I can be connected to Hashem. Wishing you all a wonderful Shabbos.